Alison, I hear you got another video.
Yes.
Who are these folks that we're going to see?
Supporters just sending videos in to us and talking about why they support me. And so there's been a compilation that's put together, and it's really nice. It's heartwarming.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah. I didn't know about this, so I thought you guys had taped them. No, they taped themselves and sent it in, and then you guys did the compilation. Yes. Okay, so these are Hartson's heroes. Let's watch.
Hi, I'm Kathy from San Francisco.
Hello, I'm Colby Zentner from Cameron Park, California.
My name's Eric Gwynn. I live in Northern California.
My name is Vanessa Scott. I'm a public elementary school teacher of 15 years in Southern California.
My name is Matthew Jacobson. I live in Yorba, California.
This is Victor from Newcastle.
My name is Gregory, and I'm voting for Alison Hartson for Senate.
I believe in Alison Hartson.
I support Alison Hartson.
Alison Hartson is not taking any corporate money.
She doesn't take any money from special interests.
She wants to get big money out of politics.
Having a system not controlled by corporate money.
I'm sick of the status quo and Dianne Feinstein.
Once they're in office, they only care about their donors.
Citizens United never should have been passed.
This is a person who actually cares about the issues.
She wants to move to 100% renewable energy.
Medicare for all.
Legalize marijuana. Protect the internet. Keep net neutrality.
Common sense gun law.
New Deal to repair our crumbling infrastructure.
Preschool through college for all.
And the wars of aggression.
And most importantly, campaign finance reform.
We need more women such as these that have progressive values.
She is a solution-based leader and teacher.
Alison is the candidate to come out and really fight for me and the rest of California.
If you haven't heard about Alison Hartson yet, please check her out.
I'm gonna vote for Alison.
Alison's got my vote.
Vote Alison Hartson on June 5th.
You've got my vote on June 5th, Alison. Yeah.
Hartson for Senate.
Okay.
Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life?
I know. So you're going old school with the babies. I think my daughter has the same pajamas, but I got bad news for you. That is not a voter, Alison.
That's okay. I'm still going to fight for her.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I think it's great when they said that, the Democrat corporate, they only fight for their donors. Because that's what you're doing. Only your donors are the actual people
That's exactly right.
who are working and donating, like you said, $15, $20 versus I'm a corporation.
That's why we need publicly funded elections. Because you're going to work for your donors either way. Our donors need to be the people in small dollar donors.
Yeah, I just want people to pause and think about that for a second. Right now, our current system of government is that we have private financing of elections. Who do you think they're going to work for? They're going to work for the private interests who finance their elections. So that's why you need public financing. That's why Alison, having led Wolfpack to get money out of politics for so long has made a big difference. And since we last talked, there's been some updates. First of all, that videos like that is why you're crushing on social media. If you didn't see Alison last week, she's lapped the field. She has more social media engagement than I think the 32 other candidates combined. And I love that these are people that they know all your positions. That's the thing I was amazed by. And she's for this, and I'm like, I think they know it better than I do. Okay, so but more good news. So a little bit of media, a little bit of movement in media. Yeah. Okay, not a lot, but some. So a little bit of momentum. I like that.
There's a little bit of digestion happening now.
Yes. And then some of the your staff says. National progressive activists are starting to come around a little bit. And my sense of it is, as we got 2 weeks left to the election, people are looking around. I saw another video, a guy putting your bumper sticker over another candidate's bumper sticker. Like they're thinking, okay, well, in terms of the most honest, well, that's a no-brainer because Alison didn't come into the race going, oh, here, I'll be honest with you. She proved it. She worked for 5 years in a nonprofit to get money out of politics. She cut her salary by half from being a teacher. So imagine how low it was, right? To actually walk the walk, and she did that for 5 years. You have the most experience, and in terms of, but not in politics and not in the corruption, but in fighting corruption. And then I think now people are going, well, look, we got to get someone to beat Feinstein, someone who's viable. And given all this. You're the one who's viable.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess exactly what they're hearing from people in the national political world here in California, connected in the national circuit, is, they know that I'm from this, and this is what they're telling us. I'm the hardest working in the race. I am the most honest, and I am the most viable, not just for the primary, but for the general. And anybody following me on social media alone, let alone anybody I've had the opportunity to meet in person, can attest to the fact that when I say policy over party and policy over politics, I mean it. I don't care what party you are. I'm calling you out if you are not representing us and doing the right thing.
So let me tell you a quick anecdote. I was talking to someone who has been with Bernie Sanders for a long, long time. And we were having coffee last time I was in DC. And I said, look, I just want to be clear about one thing. I'm not for Bernie. I'm for change. And Bernie is an agent of change. And as long as he stays on that path, I'm gonna be 100% with him. And the guy who's been with Bernie for a long time stood up and hugged me. Okay, because progressives actually care about the policies. It's not about personalities. It's not about, I want power. You want power for what? To what end? I mean, if you're Feinstein, hold on to it until you're 84. Power, precious, must keep it. What did you do with that power? And all this time, what did you do with that power? You gave yourself tax cuts. You voted for wars. You're blocking Medicare for all. You're going to fundraisers with the health insurance companies. To what end? You win one more time. What happens? Nothing happens. The whole point of your career is nothing happens. So for God's sake, step aside and let people who care about policy fight for the average person. So that's definitely why you're catching on.
Yeah,
Alison.
and it's really, it's not even just Dianne Feinstein. There are 31 other, well, aside from her and myself, so 30 other candidates in the race, and this is compared to all of the other candidates as well. Anybody else running, no matter what party they're running on, they're noticing and they hear and are spreading the same message of those qualities. And so you're right, it's catching on. People really do see that I have the experience and I have the integrity, and that means a lot to me, because it means that what we're doing, really working hard to stay true to ourselves and not get caught up in the personality political mudslinging that happens during a campaign. I just refuse to engage in it. And that's resonating with people.
Yeah, and so the election's June 5th in California. And is there a deadline for mail-in ballots?
Deadline is June 5th, but June 5th is also the day to actually vote. It's the day of the election. So I recommend, if you're planning to mail in your ballot, do it now. Don't wait until June 5th, because then it might not even be counted if they call the vote at that point, depending on what the percentages are. So mail in your ballot today, mail it in tomorrow, get it in. If you are a new citizen as of yesterday, you can still register to vote. So yesterday, May 21st, was the last day to register, but anybody who is a new citizen sworn in can register from now through June 5th.